Hello, I'm Cat. I'm the host of the interview series behind the virtual lens, and today I'm inviting Brimstone to this interview and to let him share
Hurrah!
his experience of being a programming director and a community showcase lead at Furality. Yeah, can you tell a little bit about yourself?
Uh, gosh, so what do I do as a programming director and the showcase lead? Oh gosh, so the programming director is not about programming in its traditional sense. That's DevOps. I don't know coding at all. Programming actually review is to deal with like the events that people attend. So what do attendees do at Furality is what I deal with. So like when you go to Furality, you can go to like the dealer's den, or you can go see a panel, or like sometimes you have a special guest. That's all my department. So under me is the community showcase, the art gallery, dealer's den, or dealer's team really, the events team, which is all the panels, and the event stream team, which does of course all the streaming for the stuff. Am I miss? I would feel really bad if I missed something. Uh, I think that's it. If there is, I'm very sorry. Goodness, I did not actually prep for this.
I mean, that already sounds like there's a lot of things to do.
I fly by the cuff quite a bit. So yeah, that's I help those teams. As a director, my responsibility is basically to, making sure my leads and then their teams respectively are doing and getting what they need to like do amazing work. As for the community showcase, let me just like switch gears. So now I'm a community showcase lead. So the showcase became its own thing after Legends. We initially had the idea that was kind of brought up through the events team by Brule. Unfortunately, like the idea wasn't fully solidified, and it kind of was neat. It was a lot of promotional material for people, which is great, like good to see people kind of put their stuff out there. But there's not really much of a reason to like a normal attendee to watch it, like unless it's kind of in the background and there's nothing else to really look at. So my job was, I just kind of took the project and was like, this is going to be mine now, actually. And everyone was like okay with that, because my idea was to kind of do something similar that I've seen from anime and brony culture, which is to do like these sort of like clip show like anthology series things where you take like either funny skit videos or like music videos and stuff, and you kind of jam it all together into like one like presentation. So my job as the lead is to organize that. So I make all the announcements, and I start. I have other team members as well. They help me with form and stuff. And when I get all the submissions, I go through all the videos, and I start, accepting, denying, and start kind of clipping it all together. I do the whole edit myself. I also do the intro. The intro that's always at the beginning of the showcase is always done by me. So, or at least it's planned out. I have a lot of help from the video team too. So, of course. But yeah. So I'm like the big organizer on the community showcase as a lead. So.
Yeah, that sounds like there's a lot of stuff to do, and I really like the idea of allowing the community to showcase the video they made, because a lot of them are also content creators or TikTokers. They've been creating videos for a long time, and this is a really good chance for those people who are less well known to kind of make themselves visible to more people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is the most challenging part of being a programming lead?
You mean the director?
Oh yeah.
It's honestly communication for sure. And I'm not always the best at it, but I try to be just like readily available on like my Discord or Telegram for like anything my leads need if something comes up. And then me having to, I get information that not everyone on the team does as a director, right? So my job is to kind of take that information and use it in a way that like, informs my team or benefits them in a way so that they have this information now and they can act upon it in some way. So an example could be kind of like, events team is like, oh, hey, so we're trying to like kind of scooch away from like, this is completely just a theoretical example, but like dancers. Let's say we don't actually need as many dancers this time. We actually are kind of moving away from that. We want more singers. So my job, of course, is to be like, all right, events team. So our main focus is going to be actually on singers. We want to like promote singing and music within like this next event, that sort of thing. So, honestly, just communication is like the hardest thing, and being on top of like what every team needs and like what's going on within every team, for sure.
For me, for some reason it's somehow a problem for me to work with other people. I just feel like it's I always feel more comfortable to do everything all by myself, which can be really challenging.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are there any like aspects or areas that you believe could be improved in the process of hosting or organizing these events?
Like the showcase or just events in general?
The showcase.
The showcase. It's funny. We have the whole team does retrospectives every event, and it's kind of like, what did we go wrong? Like, what should we do? And funnily enough, the showcase team, like after Silva, was the one where it's like, I don't think we really need much of a showcase. Like, overall, things went very smoothly this time around. I was very happy with the way things kind of went. Not really much organizing. Like the only things I could really think of, like I need to kind of improve upon or like emphasize, I would say, is my communication in general to the creators out there. And to be like, because I hear, after Silva, like, I had to make some very unfortunate, rough decisions with like who I was letting in. This time around, funnily enough, like there was quite a few copycats. And not to say like both people, like someone took people's ideas. It's just like, no, they just literally had the same idea and they both executed it differently.
Yeah.
And they're both good in their own right. But like, I need to like kind of choose one. Like, and sometimes it's like I'm choosing like the best one in terms of like their execution, or sometimes I'm choosing the best one in terms of like I can fit it better, inside like, my very tight like time limit, right? So my main emphasis for this next one for like MFF is going to be like, don't like discourage yourselves at all, because I get so many applicants and stuff like that, but like if you notice, like you don't always see like the most fantastic thing on the showcase. It's very much a variety. Like, one could really argue like Tuba Cat. Tuba Cat's my favorite one from Silva. Tuba Cat is like very silly. Honestly, probably isn't like the most grandiose, fantastic thing, but it's silly. It's very fun, and the pacing is really, really good. So, that sort of skit thing is like, someone just came up with that and they filmed it with their friends and it was a great time. And that's all I really need from like a submission, honestly. So sometimes I have to deny people, whether it's for time or for pacing or for something. But like the fact you tried, is like more than enough. And it helps me. It makes my job harder, but it makes the showcase itself much better at the end of it, because I have to work through and like, I had to tighten it all up, and it makes it really, really nice at the end. So for sure. I really want to push people to like, please submit. Like, it's okay. Like, just because you were accepted this time doesn't mean you won't be accepted next time, for sure.
I like the type of video you ask people to do. because they are short. I think they are between like 20 seconds to 2 minutes. So those videos
Just
can
about,
be
yeah,
like
15
can be
to-
created like in a shorter period of time, and plus since like it's made for fun, you don't have to really worry about copyrights.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, because I know a couple of people that like they're trying to make a VRChat short films. Now they are worrying about the copyrights. They are trying to find
Yeah.
if those videos needs to be submitted to a, or if you're going to submit your videos or short films to film festivals, the rules is going to be like more strict than that.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's just kind of the world we live in currently. So, but yeah, I tried to choose my rulings for like this sort of thing to be very like flexible, you know. We have like an overarching like guidelines and rules document, and I tweak it every time we like do stuff, you know, just to make sure like people are on top of like, you know, when people read actually the rules and be like not submitting just random TikToks that they've already like published, you know, so help people like no barriers to submit really. So for sure.
Yeah, and about the guidelines, I was originally going to submit a video that I made already. Then I read the guideline and I was like, oh shit, I have to make a new one.
Oh no! Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Wait, was it like for length?
It's between like, it's about a minute.
Oh, okay. Was it just some? What was the rule? Out of curiosity, and I'm curious.
I mean, the rule says it has to be a like premiere, right? It cannot be published.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a big one, actually. It's funny how many people have like missed that. A couple, even people. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm not gonna call them out, but someone on the team is very good at videos. They submitted one, and I was like, "You already released this. It's like been out for a long time."
Oh, I think I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, maybe quite possibly. They're on the team. It's like I haven't actually teased them about it all, but yeah, and that's on purpose. People sometimes ask me about that a little bit, and the reasoning is, it's a very easy lever for promotion. So when your favorite, like let's say you really love Bardic RJ, they do really fun like skit stuff and like cool music stuff, sometimes pretty emotional stuff. You love Bardic RJ stuff. Having it so like, oh, they're releasing a brand new video, they are able to now hype it up to their audience who is like, oh, I really want to see Bardic RJ's new video. And now they have an incentive to go not only see Bardic RJ's video, but everyone else who submitted. And so it becomes kind of this more event and this presentation style where like every video is something new, like never before seen.
Yeah.
So it makes it a really nice vector for like having people get excited and want to come and show up, because all the creators that get in are like, please come see my stuff, come see my stuff. And then the attendees are being like, whoa, what's going on? And then like maybe their friend is like, oh, you have to come see it. Bardic RJ is doing a thing, the showcase. It's really cool. It makes it a really easy word of mouth to like bring people over to it. Because if you start putting stuff in there that's already like been out there, it's like, oh, Bardic RJ is like in the showcase, and it's like, oh, it's one of their videos they already released. It's like, okay, well, why do I can just go watch it on TikTok. I don't need to come to like see the panel. And then they lose the opportunity for like them to see everyone else's stuff too, you know? So it helps make it much more of an event rather than just like a show of like videos people have already seen before. So
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I dropped my water. I don't even know where it went. Anyway.
Yeah, and now I guess other people, or at least me, I now just don't publish any stuff. I I finished on my social media anymore.
Oh no.
Gotta wait for bigger
Oh
events.
no. Oh gosh, I that is somewhat both very flattering, but also like, no, like feel free to publish your stuff. It's fun. Like honestly, just I wouldn't like just focus on one video to like, okay, I kind of want this to be my submission, and then work on your other stuff in between, like just submit sort of that sort of thing. But it is very nice to see like people are. I had actually a lot of new creators come up to me during Silva that was like, oh, I really want to make something for the showcase now, and I'm like, yes, this is. I've the reason why we didn't really have much of a retro is because I think when we're now at this place with the showcase where it's actually very like cyclical in nature now, where you have these people, they come to the showcase and they watch the stuff and they're like, oh wow, that's super cool. I want to make new stuff and do that sort of stuff. So now they're becoming creators as well, and now their stuff can maybe get in. And then when their stuff gets in, then the attendees who come and see that, they're like, oh wow, that was really cool. I want to do stuff like that too. And then it just is a cycle.
Oh yeah.
And then with that, we get so many new like perspectives and creators and talents into this like VR like film like, you know, community that we have, right? So it's become really special, honestly, for a lot of people, and it's cool to see it's just spread so far. And I want it to get bigger, but and the fact that it is too is like it's really really cool. So yeah, it's very exciting actually. So
is it hard to pick those videos?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's weird. I need to. So for the Furality team, we have like a Notion for the whole team, and every department, every team gets their own little page and stuff. And my showcase page is like probably needs more documentation about like how I choose videos because there's none, because it's honestly comes from just like a place of intuition. I've grown up for a really long time on YouTube where I used to watch like Equals 3 and like Your Favorite Martian, his stuff. I used to watch Total Biscuit. I watched Smosh, and I've just been on YouTube for a very long time, and I've just kind of like have this weird gut thing of like what makes a really fun, interesting video, or like what feels really good to watch, you know? And so when I'm watching stuff, I always have this initial phase of like, okay, how is this video really engaging? Is it really interesting and like making me want to keep watching it, right? And then from there, I have a second process where it's like I get all the videos that I think are like really good, and it's like, okay, I want them in, and that's usually way longer than my actual time limit. And from there, that's when I have to make the really hard decisions of starting to cut people. And that process comes from just like more kind of gut feelings of like, okay, where does each video belong and how does it flow from one to the next, right? Because you don't want a situation where like you watch a really sad video and it's like, oh, super sad, oh, you know, it's super soft.
Oh,
and sweet, and it's just like, oh,
I didn't realize that is a concern. the flow
oh yeah,
of
for
the
sure.
video.
You don't want like this. Oh, it's huge. Yeah, that's like. So I watched the showcase like, and it's like one. I guess this past one was like 1 hour 15-ish. I watched that like 7, 8, 9 times, like fully, because I'm looking for the flow of the video from one to the next. Because if you have these videos that are very conflicting in terms of like mood or pacing, and it kind of can really jar people, and it makes it like not fun to watch, right? Even if the videos are really good, if there's like a, you know, a really like elusive like style where it's like really soft and like triumphant kind of like fantasy kind of style, whatever, but then it like smashes you with like a heavy metal like anime opening thing, like, you know, sometimes that's good depending on where it is, but if it's just like normal watching, you're like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that, you know? So pacing is huge. It's how I make it very watchable. The best compliment people can give me is if they've watched the showcase multiple times, because that means I did my job right when I was editing. Because my whole job when I'm editing is like wanting people to like see it again and again and again, and they don't feel tired too. They don't like, they're like, oh man, we gotta watch this showcase again. Man, I don't want to watch because like their friend wants to watch it or something. They haven't seen it before. They're like, oh hell yeah, I'm down to see the showcase again. That's what I want, right? I want people to just keep watching it again and again. Sorry, I'm talking a lot.
Don't worry about that. Like, yeah.
So my full body is acting hella up.
Yeah, I feel like creating a comedy is probably the most ideal type of the video you can do within 2 minutes, because you can easily get reactions from people. I mean, that is the most. At least for me, that is probably the smartest way to do. And I think some people have already mastered master their own way of creating a comedy because they've been creating TikTok videos.
Oh yeah, for sure. Comedy, like especially short stuff. I always like tell people who like are interested or want to do showcase stuff as like really easy way to like have a pretty good shot. Make something like very like parody skit, like comedy base, and make it real short. Because I'm always like, we have a lot of people who make really cool like long music videos, and please do keep making them. Like I'm not saying don't, please keep making them. But if you're like kind of like, I just want to try something, like I don't want to put like a whole lot of like effort, I just kind of want to try it out and see how it goes and submit something. Do something short and comedic and like maybe a parody, because I can put those really easily, because you know I can fit in an hour like 50 or so of those versus like music videos and it's like I can fit like 20, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, so of course, you know, I won't always put in like every comedic bit that I get, but like you know, for sure. Comedy parody stuff, like your video is fantastic. Like I was hoping someone would make something like that at some point, so I was really happy to see you like make something new with the Scary Movie. It was a huge hit, honestly.
Thanks. Not sure if you've mentioned this, but is this your first time doing the Furality, editing the Furality showcase video?
Oh, the only one I didn't edit was the first one, Legends, which is kind of a. I always consider that one like wasn't really the showcase, you know, because it was very different to what it is now.
That one is pretty early, right?
Since like I took over, since I took over, so the first one would be Aqua. I've been editing them since. So I did Aqua, then the Aqua like Redux at MFF last year, and then the Silver one this past June. Yeah, so I've edited all of them.
Okay, so this question I think is perfect for you to answer. Have you noticed any trend in terms of the content people create for the Furality showcase? I can
see. I would say it's kind of.
I can give a couple of examples, like genre, length, and the scale of a project, something like that.
Oh yeah, I would say like overall, I think some of the scale for like music videos, I think that honestly comes down to like the fact of like, because the way we format it is like it's like a big event presentation, right? I think the other really good benefit of that is that it kind of like focuses in creators to like actually make something, and now they have a deadline too, right? So then they have to kind of come and it's like, okay, well, I want to put my best foot and make the best thing I can, right? And now it's like the showcase is like a reason to do that. So like music video creation, I say was definitely like the production scale of that is much bigger. Honestly, probably the easiest one for like that to like as an example would definitely be Danny. We love Danny, of course. But like his stuff is like way more bigger in scope in terms of production and people he has to have. So because he used to only have the one actor, it was just him in his videos. But then when EAC came along, and he had to get rid of he got rid of his mods and stuff. He had to start getting other people to play, actors and background people in his videos. So yeah, I would say the scale of production for like music video stuff has definitely trended upwards. Other than that, it's kind of hard because we've only had 3 of them, which isn't really a lot. I'm kind of hoping to see, like, as with this Silva one, right, which I think is probably like, on YouTube we don't have the most views. Yeah, Aqua Showcase still has the most in terms of all the showcases, but we had a lot of people watching it live, and so I'm really hoping like for the MFF one or maybe next New Year's convention, like we'll really start to see like a lot of people submit and like have a variety of things, and I'm hoping my job is like even harder than it was for Silva. So, because man, Silva was already pretty hard, but I want it to be harder. So that's for you guys. Make my job harder. It's a call out. So.
Yeah. For me, the type of videos I would like to see people create is something that you would have a feeling like, I didn't know VRChat. People can use VRChat to create that. I want people to get that kind of feeling, or bringing up, or videos that bring up new ideas that open an entirely new genre, or an entirely new way to film something in VRChat.
That'd be really, I think that's very like, I would love to see that ambition, honestly. Me personally, I think just more parody stuff would be really fun. Like you had your scary movie thing, which is really, really funny. Just seeing kind of a little bit more of that. Another really good one from like the Aqua showcase was Jet Set. Oh god, what was his Jet Set ferret or whatever? The one where like the ferret was in like flipping the Jet Set world. It was like that was really cute. I thought that was adorable. Honestly, a lot more parody content. Soapcat did an Office. What was it, Office or? Oh shoot, I can't remember which. It was like a sitcom show. They did like an Office parody and stuff. That was super well done, like by Soapcat. So she really got the like camera work really well done, where it's kind of like it's like the camera and it's being held, but it's a little bit like it's not quite stabilized. It's a little shaky, and like the zoom's a little bit off. Like she did that camera work perfectly. Like I would love to see more parody content, honestly.
Cool. Let's talk about working as a member in a huge event. So, do you have any past experience working as a team leader or a staff in other events?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question.
Oh, really?
I was. So for people who don't know, I'm not formally. I still am a brony, but of course, Gen 4, which was like the one where bronies came up, right? That show has ended officially. So, but I'm still kind of running around a little bit in those circles, but it's just not as like big as it used to be. But during those days, I was a big like. I would go to conventions. I was a vendor helper quite a few times. There was one con called PhillyCon that had only, I believe it was 1 year, and I was their gopher or volunteer lead, and that was quite a story. So, but so I do have experience with like these kind of events and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm not like super new, but I will say this is probably the most like I would say like official, or at least like more professional in a way. Not that those weren't, but like, I always feel like Furality puts on a really nice, like, we're still like the community, the furry community, VR and stuff like that. We're still very friendly, but we kind of bring an air of like secure professionality, right? where it's like, okay, you expect a lot from us because we put on such a good show, or we do a lot to help by our community, and we try not to get like involved in a lot of like, you know, small stuff. You know, we don't want to do that. We just want to put on a really good event for everybody and do the best we can to, you know, let the VR community have an amazing time, you know. So in that respect, it's been like really, really fantastic. I've never felt more like a team player than being on the Furality team. Like, everyone's super friendly, and we all love each other like very much. And you know, sometimes like we have these things, and like fires come up, and we have to work on them, blah blah blah. But like, you know, we always like come together and we work to do our best by like our community and then like our team as well, right? And get things done. So
Yeah. And you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm curious about like the difference between. So obviously, I guess you guys are all like need to. There's a lot of stuff that you guys have to do online more than offline, right?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. So I'm curious about the difference between hosting an event like this in real life versus an online event like Furality. Like, what are the difference? What are the differences?
Oh gosh. So honestly, if you want like a full breakdown, go watch the previous DevOps panel, and most recently with Silva, we had our event stream people actually come and do their own panel as well.
Okay.
So that goes in way more detail about like the infrastructure. Like my layman's kind of like understanding, because even I learn a lot when I watch those panels myself, is just you have to deal a lot in IRL events with logistics, which is kind of like the physicality of like moving things around, getting things set up physically, right? You need bodies, and they need to be working to like set up the event and get everything in place and all plugged in and blah 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 blah. So for us, we don't have to worry about logistics as much, like physically, like at all, because we're completely VR. But our thing is sort of like, okay, our logistics comes from like, how do we make an event that is like very like accessible and easy to use for 15,000 people at the same time in a platform that each instance can only hold like, you know, 80 people. Like, and that's not even saying like, because we only recently with Silva, we kind of tested out some of the larger like instance types. Usually in the past we had like, I think our max was like 32. I might be completely wrong by that, but like yeah. So I think a lot of that comes from like our fantastic and wonderful like DevOps team, like who just kind of like got that whole system set up and things. But yeah, a lot of it is really just kind of like dealing with, you know, the DevOps side, and then like in my own department, it's kind of dealing with like, how do we get like special guests set up, you know? So like we had the Crystal voice actor. Oh gosh, I feel bad, I forget her name. But the Crystal voice actor from like Star Fox, she didn't even have a VR setup, and she of course was not very, she did not have a lot of gaming literacy where she like knew what like how to move or anything. So we had to really like, our events team had to really like help her and you know, work through that and sort of thing, you know, getting the event guests inside. Our event stream team has to like work on like how we provide the most like lag-free experience and that feels nice to watch on a Twitch, you know. Like our Twitch stream this time around for Silver was way bigger than ever before, so they had their work cut out for them, and they did a fantastic job too. So you know, we have to have like physically, right, you have like fires that happen, right, and like, you know, it's kind of like everyone on the team like has to kind of physically kind of like deal with that. Like you have security and stuff. For us, it's our guest services, right? It's like they have to deal with all of that online, and in ways that can be a lot more like, oh my gosh, there's a lot, because like you have people in Discord typing like blah 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 blah, you know, stuff like that, you know. So there's certainly a lot of differences. And I would say like the work though is like, having done a lot of like actual IRL cons and done like Furality quite a bit, like the workload is like, I don't think lessened at all. I think they're pretty equal. Both things are a very big event that you put on for a lot of people. The workload is like comes from very different places, for sure.
And yeah, and now you have the experience working both ways. And I think especially with the recent development of the immersive technology, like we have new headsets coming out, it's going to be more common and more popular for people to attend this kind of events. Do you guys allow or send out feedback forms to let participants to?
We do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we sent one for, oh gosh, after Silva, a little stuff's a little bit of a blur. I believe we sent a general attendee feedback form, and I think we sent one more form, but I don't remember. It might have been, I don't remember. We did kind of like, we did discuss having a bit more feedback forms for like certain parties. So especially in my department, like dealers, and like we chatted a little bit about having maybe showcase creators as well. Honestly, if people want that, I'm definitely happy to provide, I guess. So like if any of the dealers or the people are watching, let me know. And if you had let me know, I'm sorry. I just been very busy. But yeah, let me know, and maybe we can definitely start working on that, because it has been discussed. We have sent one for general attendees, but we haven't sent one for like our our panelists and such, that sort of thing. So, but if people want that, I think we'd be happy to provide one. So
cool. Yeah, because personally I think I checked my like email and I didn't receive one. And that's why
I'd have to double check, because I'm pretty sure we sent one, but I don't entirely recall. Yeah, I'd have to look into it. So I have a director's meeting coming up soon anyway, so it's all good. I can bring it up there. So.
Final question: is there anything that you can share about future events?
Ooh, could get in trouble. Shoot. What can I share? Well, actually, so if you didn't know, we recently are doing a soft test right now of our Patreon meetups. We're starting those back again. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you can attend patron events. We'll all have, currently we have like so our community lead, not community, gosh, what is this? Conrad Heskey. He's the community like lead. He does the Patreon stuff, and so he's there with Finn, and I believe Dalton is there currently, and some of the directors and community team people, which is from guest services as well, with Andy and their team. So we're starting those up again. We have a cyber connection coming up this month as well, of course. But we have another event coming. I can't say much though, but people should tune into our Twitch. So I would say honestly, check in terms of like, if you really kind of want to follow what we've been like follow up with Furality and what we're kind of doing, and just want to kind of keep informed. Always follow our Twitch and our announcements, for sure, because that's where we're kind of because we're going to be taking an actual full year this time and not like the 4 to 5 month, or for Silva it was like basically only 3.5 month like turnaround for a convention. We're going to take a full year this time, thanks to the generous support of like and success of Silva from our community. We're going to kind of take that full year this time to actually develop the convention. But we still, of course, want to keep things like engaging, interesting for people and our attendees in our community. So yeah, that's why we're like really leveraging that Twitch and streams and stuff. So as for like other events that maybe aren't through Twitch, wait and see. Maybe can't really say too much, but maybe. So, oh well, wait. There's the showcase though. There's the showcase at MFF. If you're going to MFF, come to the showcase. That's the big thing.
Oh,
So.
okay. Time to make another new video.
I still need to make the announcement video. Yeah, I still need to make the announcement video. So.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, just make another video. Submit another video. That's my thing for all creators. I'm actually gonna call someone out here. Flippin' Aaron Otter. He actually like just requested off of me during this interview. Flippin' Aaron, make another video. He made a really cool video last year, and it introduced. One of the nice things about the showcase, especially when people do their music videos, is I always get introduced to these really new cool songs. He made a really cool video for this song, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really like the song and I really love the video. He hasn't made another one since, and I was like, make another video. So but no, yeah, please like make more videos, do more great work, and I would love to see you in the showcase again, honestly. So
yeah, I'm already making another video. The problem for me is that there are just so many events that which lets creator to showcase their videos. So if
there are
so will the guidelines for the video submission be the same as Furality?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not really seeing, like off the top of my head, I'm not really seeing a lot of like different changes I would make to the guidelines this time around. You know, for Silva, I really kind of like focused on what changes I wanted to see in like the videos that got submitted. And so, you know, before I wasn't as like strict on like TikTok. Like I didn't want TikTok videos, but I never specifically said like no TikTok videos, because technically you could submit a TikTok video in a way, but like the TikTok video would need to like the video has to be like engaging in a way that's like the format makes sense. So actually, gosh, what was it? I think it was Aqua. If you notice, there was actually a TikTok video in there, but it was like horror themed. So I was like, okay, this kind of makes sense a little bit, because the formatting is very squished, which makes it more like, you know, uncomfortable. So people can submit like formatted videos in such a way as long as it makes sense to the video. So and that's for a lot of the rules, honestly. Like, you know, my time limit is like, you know, on the guidelines, right? It's a guideline, but it's like 15 seconds to 2 minutes, because I don't want like 8-minute videos to like show off, right? But if you make an 8-minute video and it's really good and it's like sucks me in, it's like I am like watching this for 8 minutes.
It's possible.
You know? Then it's like, it's possible. Yes, it's very possible, for sure. If you make a TikTok video and stuff and it's like, okay, well, it's against the rules of our formatting, but the video itself actually like engages with that format, or that's like, it's like the video is meant to be in this format, and it's like that's its purpose, and it's really good, and it's like, okay, then yeah, it could be a TikTok video inside the showcase, right? I'm not against. I can be very flexible, but like a lot of it comes down to like the quality and like the purpose of your video, right? So if you're TikTok, if submit a TikTok and it's just you doing a little dance to like a song, it's like, well, I can't really accept that, unfortunately. Like there's just, because you can find that anywhere on TikTok, really.
True.
That's just something you can find just swiping up and down, right? So for sure.
And I think that's it. Thanks for answering the questions.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Daisy.
Same. Yeah, I'm so far I'm yeah.
Is there a video? Thank you so much.
Yeah. I think this is like episode 9, and for future episode, I definitely have a couple of ideas. Yeah, but I still need to contact other filmmakers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm also planning
to see him.
To turn this like into like different seasons, so I can kind of take a break between them and introduce new ideas and new stuff in newer seasons.
Yeah.